Hello, hello. Happy Friday. Welcome to Let's Get Social Live Sew Along. And we are going to be working on Simplicity 9372. And we worked on it last week. And last week we did the dress, which you can see behind me. And this week we are actually going to do view C, which is I don't a shrug, a sweater cover. I'm not using sweater material. I again am going to go off the reservation a little bit and do things a little bit different because I am going to be doing a stretch jean instead. Hey friend, hi Aisha. So I'm going to be doing a stretch jean, and I also want to talk a little bit about last week's sew along too because as those of you who joined last week so long, when we did the dress, I cut a size large, and it was large. Talk about too big to fail. That was definitely not too big to fail because it was a fail. And so what I had said at the end of the live is that I was going to take it apart and then resew it together because yes, it was definitely that big that I could have taken it apart and resew it together. But one of the things that you will learn about knit for our new sewists, because again, I'm giving a lot of new sewist tips along the way, because not that you all are new sewists, but we might have new sewists joining because this is January, the month that we focus on, new sewists. So I've been, if you noticed in all of the sew alongs this month, I've been talking a lot about like, okay, if you're new, just be aware of this tip or that tip, because those are things that often really helped me when I was just learning how to sew, like, oh, I wish I knew that. Well, one of the things that I will let new sewists know or remind older sewists of is that when you have to use your seam ripper on knit, especially if you are using thread that matches your fabric exactly, it's hard. It takes time. And yeah, I just wasn't here for it. I started it and I was like, yeah. And my very good friend Aisha reminded me, girl, if you don't just cut those sides off, because again, it's that big that I have like probably like a good inch and a half on each side, maybe a little bit more. And so I was like, you know what? Because I'm not going to waste all that fabric. It's a lot of fabric, and I'm definitely either going to remake this dress or make another dress. And so what you see behind me is literally the dress that we made last week, but I made it in a jean fabric. So, or denim. I always call it jean. Again, that's the non-sewist in me, the non-professional sewist in me. I say jean all the time, and the correct terminology of the fabric is denim. But anyway, I remade it in a denim, and I did it in a medium, just because again it is a denim. It's not as stretchy as a knit, but it definitely, it turned out really good. You can't really see them, but I put my two darts in the back. I have my invisible zipper here, which I took it all the way down to here, which is what I love because then I can step into it. It only calls for a 7-inch zipper, but I like to step into my dresses, like not, put them over the head. I like to step into them. And so this pulls it, zips it all the way down. And so I can step right into it. And then, those darts were a little wonky last week. And part of that is because the dress was so big. And so, the darts are, right where they should be. Although they look a little bit off. Maybe they do look a little bit. I might have to make a little adjustment to the darts because looking in this thing, I realized like one looks up here, one looks down here. But that's neither here nor there. What I do need to do, which I haven't done, and maybe I'll do it today if we have time, is I do need to do the bias finish around the armholes and the neck. And so I do want to share just one other thing for you. I literally made this. So y'all know it took us 3 hours to do this dress last week, right? It should not have taken us 3 hours. I literally did this dress in an hour. I mean, what you see right here, I literally did it in an hour. So part of that is the second time you make it is always faster. It's always easier because you already know the steps. And so as y'all know, it took us 3 hours to get to this point right here. Last week, it took me an hour to get to this point right here. So part of it is I knew I had this live at 7:00. So I was like, maybe an hour 15 at most. But definitely not much longer than that. So anyway, here we go. Here's the dress made in denim. And I do plan to take it off and try it on for you all. today. Try it on for you and try it on for me, because like I said, I just made it, so we'll see. It's a medium. And for the record, my measurements are 38 and a half, 39 bust, 35 waist, 43 hips. That's my measurements. And y'all know, again, with a knit fabric, I had a rib knit last week. That large was way too big. So this is a denim. I cut in a medium. We're gonna cross all our fingers and then some, and just see like where we are with that. So anyway, that brings us back up to speed. Hey, Monica, you said I'm here for the stretch jean. Yes, I'm here for the stretch jean too. I love jean fabric. It's like one of my favorites to work with. And in fact, I made one of the other patterns, a very similar dress to this, but it has the opening in the back, and I made that out of denim as well. So yeah, I love that material. Let me see. Hi, Ray made it. Welcome. You said yours too. Yes, because it was just a perfect fabric for that dress, and it works so well. Thank you for joining. Ray made it. And so for those that don't know, I am streaming live to a couple of different platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. So thank you everybody for joining. Hey, Sabs, good to see you. So you may see me kind of turning to two, because I do have two different screens up. Okay, so we're doing view C. And for those that are sewing along, drop some in the chat. Let me know that you are sewing along. And if you plan on making this later on, I do want to also let you know that Aisha Mallory Designs happens, like, look, great minds think alike, right? Because she literally had the same pattern, same views that I'm doing lined up for her pattern so long. So she also did the dress earlier this week on Tuesday. And she will be doing view C as well next Tuesday. So if you like view C, definitely, and you are not sewing along today, you can hop on Aisha's live next Tuesday, because she will also be doing view C. Look, we love this dress. We love this shrug. So I'm calling it a shrug. I don't know what is the formal name of it, but so we're stepping out on the edge. Let me just tell you that the correct fabrics for this pattern view C are as follows. It is let's see. It says it's size for stretch knits. That's a lie. That is a lie. Size for stretch knits only, such as interlock jersey, rib knit, ITY, ponte, double knit, sweater knit for the wraps. I'm doing it in jean. I cut it in a size medium. So we're gonna see what happens. Look, if this, I'm not gonna waste this jean fabric. Let me tell you, if it does not work out, it's too small, I'm gonna give it away, or I'm gonna take it apart and make a bag out of it. Look, we're gonna do something with it, but this is some really good jean material. So you can't really see from the dress. I don't feel like the view on the camera. Let me see if I need to clean my camera. That maybe looks a little bit better. But let me just hold this up close so you can actually see this jean material. I don't know if you could actually see it, what the quality of it, but it is pretty good. And it has, the stretch is mostly this way. Y'all can see that stretch. I really want to make some, I got a little bit more of this fabric, and I really do want to make some jeans out of this. This is that fabric that you have, those good jeans, right? So anyway, this is my fabric jean that I'm doing. So with that said, let's get into it. As the young people say, let's get into it, right? So let me wrap C. Okay, let me go to wrap C. So we are going to take our piece number 6, which is our bodice piece. That's this piece right here. You were required to have cut 2, and we are going to take those. I'm just going to move our dress back a little bit. And you are required to put them right sides together. So we're going to do that. So I'm taking view C, and I'm putting them right sides together. And we are going to stitch across the double notched area. So this part has 2 notches in it, if you could see. And we're going to be stitching straight across this and we're going to be doing 5/8 seam allowance. So you said this dress is a vibe though, and you could dress it up or down. Look, I'm gonna see, depending on how it fits, what the fit is. I may even be wearing this to work on like a dress down Friday. And I hope it's a little bit of a looser fit anyway, because my other dress, the one with the hole in the back, it has a much tighter fit. But of course, I could hide the hole because I could just wear a blazer over it. So I can still wear that one, you know, when I want to. So anyway, we're going to stitch this 5/8 seam allowance. Okay, so if you are sewing this weekend or sewing tonight, let me know. What are y'all working on? What are y'all working on to keep yourselves? Again, for many of us, you know, sewing is it's how we unwind, how we decompress. So what are y'all getting into? I'm really hoping this fits, because not only do I want to wear it with this to give me sleeves, but I want to wear it with other things. Okay, some stitching. I got a little back stitch going on. You said, please like the like. Yes, thank you for liking the live. Thank you, Aisha, for the reminder. You said I was distracted. I found it easier to sew the narrow hem first and then sew the arms. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So one of the things that, and Monica, you have to let me know what you think about this too. So Aisha Monica has made this dress 4 times for her and her daughter. So she's, you know, been there, done that, has been dropping tips down last week, and I'm tapping into her again this week because she's made this. Question: well, first of all, I guess I should not assume. Did you make the view C also, Monica? Let me know if you made the view C. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we're finished with view 6 for right now. We are pulling out our view 7. Our view 7 is our neckband. So it is telling us to press under a 1/2 inch. So I am going to pull out my iron. And let me just get some water for my iron. So I'll be right back. Okay. Hey, Dee. So Monica says she has made this view C twice. Oh, I guess I had water in there. Didn't even realize it. So when you made it, did you what did you think about the zipper in view C? Because I'm gonna tell you, this pattern is full of surprises for me. Because it does have a zipper in it. Hey, Anthony. Look at that. Y'all see that? Let me just show you. Cannot see that steam. It's everything, okay? All right, let me put this right here. And let me pull out my piece number 7. Let me make sure I got my notches in there. Did I did not. So let me not burn myself. And put a little notch in this. I realized I did not cut my notch. So I'm just putting a little notch in here. I think that's really it. Just looking for my, oh, there it is. It fell on the floor. So I don't know what it is. I think it's almost impossible for me to have allergies right now, but my eyes have been really burning lately. And it feels like how it feels like if you've ever had allergies. That's how it feels right now. And it's been doing that all day. All day. My goodness gracious. I feel like I've been rubbing my eyes non-stop. I'm just marking my little okay, there we go. So I got my all my markings on. Okay, so it says press under 1/2 inch on the unnotched edge and then trim to 1/4. So I am literally going to just mark this so I know exactly where 1/2 is. And they do, and I actually do have, they have irons that you can, I mean, they have rulers that you can iron. This is not one of them. And I know that because I accidentally ironed over top of it and it warped. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a little warped. You can see it. So I was like, well, there goes that. So I'm just using this chalk to lightly line. Another way to, if you ever have to fold and iron something, is to mark, draw a line, double the length so that you fold the top. The top edge will fold down to the line. That will let you know. So like this is a 1/2 inch. I would draw a 1-inch line down from the edge and then fold it over. And then that would make my fold be on the 1/2 inch mark. I'll show you what I mean in 1 minute. If you don't have one of those irons, I mean, one of those rulers that you can iron on, this is just another way. And I'll just show you this really quick. Just making my little line. And then I'll show you exactly what I did. Okay. So basically what I did was, if you look at the top little line, I don't know, you quite can't see because it's not as dark. That's the 1/2 inch mark. This bottom line is the full inch mark. If I fold so that the edge meets that bottom line like that, let me see if I could do it without, yeah, then that's going to be a 1/2 inch. So it's like basically I'm taking the raw edge and I'm lining it up with the line that I drew at 1 inch down. So it's just another way that makes it easier to, and then I'm just going to press it. And what this is doing is this one of the ways in which you can do a finished edge. Hey, Carm. Woo. Iron is hot. Burn your fingers. Okay, so here we go. That's it. That's it. There we go. Okay, so once we fold it, then it tells us to trim it back to 1/4 of an edge, which is basically half of the part that you folded down. They want you to trim off. So I'm just gonna, and this is where it's good to have, like, one of the easier ways you could do it is you could use a rotary blade to just trim it, but it's not a long part, so I'm just doing it with my eyeballing it and doing it with my my scissors. Oh, thank you, Magali. Did you see I tagged you in the information about the iron? It is in the link in my bio. And I posted something on my community tab for YouTube as well. But I tagged you in it also. I think I tagged you on the community tab on YouTube, I believe. Hi, Elisa. Welcome. Okay, so I just cut off half or 1/4. I cut it back to 1/4 of an inch, which is half of an inch that I folded it down. Okay, and it says, now I don't have bulky fabric, but it does give you an alternative. Like, I was actually originally going to use a thick sweater knit to make this. And if I were to use that, that's much thicker than this thin denim that I'm using. But it says that if you have, where did I read that? Where was I reading that? Oh yeah, if you have a bulky fabric, it said instead of turning it under, you may prefer to overlock or serge, or use a zigzag along the raw edge. Those are all other ways that you could finish instead of folding it under and pressing. Now it is telling us with right sides together to pin the band to the neck edge, matching the centers and marking, stretch the band to fit, and then do a based stitch. Okay, let me see. And then it gives us a note. It says, stitch the invisible zipper using invisible zipper foot. Okay, before you begin, be sure to line up your needle. Okay, it's just telling us how to use invisible zipper foot, which I don't have. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, I don't know if on YouTube, when you tag somebody or you link to their YouTube page, I don't know if it gives them a notification. I don't know. Okay, so let's see. Now it is telling us to line up. Okay, here we go. Line up our notches and all that jazz. So that's what I'm doing right now. Oh, right side. Okay, I do have right sides together. So let me just show you what I'm doing. So here is the piece number 7. You can see I have notches at the edge right here. Here's the center piece. It is basically telling us to match up the notches that we have here. You can see that we have notches right here. We're going to be matching those up. And we're doing it right sides together. So here is the right side. And here's the right side of this. And I'm literally going to be matching. This is around the neck. So I'm doing that right now. So again, the only reason I even dare to do this in a denim is because we have the zipper, and I'm like, if I got a zipper, it's there. I have no excuse for not being able to get in and out of this thing. That's the way I feel about it anyway. I mean, and because this thing has been, it's oversized. So I think it's oversized just based on my measurements and how big that other one was that we did last week. That thing was huge. That thing was huge, okay? And I talked to Aisha. I know Aisha said when she made hers, she cut a medium and she could have used a small. So I feel like if I did a knit, I would definitely have went down to a small. No question. But because I was doing the denim, I was like, denim is not as stretchy as knit. Okay, so I have it all. I have it on. And it says that, let's see, we are going to, pin the band to the neck edge, matching the centers and the markings, stretching the band to fit. And then, it says stretch it to fit. Okay, I did not do that. So let me stretch it to fit. Well, I guess I did. It's stretchy, so it's fitting. Literally didn't have to do much to stretch it to fit. And it tells us the base stitching. And I did match all my markings and my notches, so I did do that part. So we are going to do this base stitch. So I do my base stitches at a 5.0. Let me see. A 5.0. Is that right? 5.0 width stitch. So that's what I do for my base stitch, and that's what I did right here. So that's the length of my stitch that I use when I'm doing the base stitch. And I think that's probably standard. I think that's what most people use. So if you're a new sewist and you see the word like basted on, that's typically the width that they change. That most people change the width of the stitch to. All right. And I always do base stitches within my seam allowance so that I don't have to take them out if I don't want to. So seam allowance is 5/8 of an inch. I'm doing this at like less than a half an inch, probably 3/8 of an inch. So again, so I don't have to take it out. I just leave it in there and it comes out when it comes out. But you won't see it because it'll be hidden in the seam allowance. Yeah, so I'm excited to try the dress on. We're going to see exactly how loose it is, what it looks like. Hopefully it's not that loose. I mean, well, I don't know. I'm like, if it's really loose, if it's really tight, that means I gained some weight. All right, so I really love this fabric. I'm not gonna lie, I love it, and I love it. If I could get one pair of nice jeans made out of this fabric, I will be so happy. Because I really like it that much. And I usually don't do a back stitch with a basting stitch, but I just did a teeny couple stitches, like 2. Go back and forth. Okay. Now it says we're going to press the seam towards the band. So let me move this out the way. Hi, Leangela. Welcome. I'm so happy that you're here. Okay, so let me just show you. This is the band. I'll just put the band on, and now it says to press the seam allowance, which is this little edge that I did, press it towards the band. So let me tell you what that means. If I open it up, I am literally going to press it up like this towards the band. This is the band. This is the bodice down here. So I'm going to press it up towards the band. And it is just preparing us for the zipper. And this calls for I think it's a 7-inch zipper. I don't have a 7-inch zipper, so I'm using a longer zipper that I will likely end up cutting. All right, here we go. Hi, Lala. Welcome. Happy Friday. Look at that. Just like, oh. You don't even have to go over it a million times. Just a little bit of steam. Just do this middle piece. Don't burn me. Look at that, my iron, the steam curled up the edge of my fabric because it's so stretchy. Okay, so we are done with that. And let me just show you what I did, just so you can see. Again, pressed up that seam towards the band. So now we are going to put on our zipper. And so it tells us here's my zipper. So I got an 18-inch, but you only need a 7-inch zipper. So it says open the zipper. So we're literally going to just put the zipper on. And I'll just remind everyone, if you're a beginner and you're new to zippers, I do have a zipper tutorial on my YouTube page that shows how to put in invisible zippers. I think I have one on like welt zipper pockets, regular zipper. Yeah, so I do have those. And if you are doing this, I definitely recommend that you do a couple of like practice sessions of putting in a zipper. All right, let me see what this thing is telling me to do. Okay, open the zipper, press the zipper tape flat on the wrong side. So just this, I love this pattern in that it gives you like a lot of tips about how to put in zippers, or just even how to sew certain things like the darts and, like the zippers, for example. And so one of the things it talks about is pressing your zipper tape so that you are opening up the zipper teeth here, because when you're stitching it, particularly for an invisible zipper, you need to get inside that little divot, or whatever you want to call it. That little, I don't know, I'm gonna call it a divot for lack of another word to describe it. And so you want to make sure that the heat is down on your zipper, but that you lightly, press it open. I usually don't press mine. I just open it with my finger as I'm sewing it. I just push it back and then sew inside that little divot. I'm gonna call it that for lack of another way to describe it. But in the instructions, it tells you to kind of just press this tape flat, and it actually tells you to put the coils or the little zipper teeth on the wrong side so that they don't melt, so you don't put the iron on them. And reminds you to use a low heat setting, which you should. Okay, so on the outside, pin the right side of the zipper face down. Okay. Hand base. Okay, this is just giving you an installation method. So position the zipper foot at the top of the zipper with the right sides in the groove, stitch along. I was just trying to see where it's telling me to put the top. of the zipper. And I think I am putting it at the top of I think I'm putting it at the top. Let me see. Yeah, they don't do a really good job of explaining this here. But let me just read again to make sure. Have the quill on the seam line. Oh, it have a seam line. Okay, there we go. So that's what I missed. So on your pattern, you have this seam line right here. And this is where you're going to actually fold it down. So you're going to fold your collar or your neckband down. So I didn't transfer that, so I will. So that's one of the reasons it would take me so long, because I'm thinking, where am I placing the zipper when I'm putting it on? So on your neckband, there is a line on your pattern piece that literally falls in the center of the pattern piece. So you're going to have a line that goes straight across here that you will need to transfer, because what that ultimately is going to do is tell you where you need to be folding this neckband down, and also where the top of your zipper is going to need to go. So basically what it's telling you is that on the right side, and I'm just going to transfer this marking. Let me just see how far. Is it? That is 3 inches. And I'm just measuring this out. 1/2 inch on each side. So I'm just marking that fold line. This is easy, actually, to do it this way. I'm just making sure my lines are going to be lined up from one end to the other. And I'm just going to just making a very light line. Only could use half of my ruler because it's, there we go. So let me just show you this. So I made that line. If you could see it, I did it very lightly, but it's a line halfway. And the top of my zipper tape is going to go right side facing down. It's going to go right sides facing down, so the zipper pull facing to the right side of the fabric. And the top of my zipper pull is going to go at that line, at the top of that line. Or actually the top of where the zipper pull stops is going to go at top of the line. So I'm again using zipper tape. So I'm going to put a piece of zipper tape in there, just a small piece. If I can figure out what I did with it. This is what happens when you have a little small space. You're like, oh, here it is, right here. Hi, Helen. Welcome. these. Yes. Hi, Miss Texas Cannon. All right, I'm just taping this down. This is get my sticky zipper tape so I can put my zipper on. And let me just show you where I put the zipper tape, because then you'll see exactly where I'm putting the zipper. Okay. So again, halfway, and then I'm taking it down. And I actually took it all the way down to my notch, which is right here. But which might be, let me see, this is, how many inches is this? That's, yeah, that's probably about where it's supposed to be, is 7 inches. So that's you, if you use the zipper that they tell you, then you're gonna have 7-inch zipper. So again, I'm just pressing this down. And then I'm going to remove the sticky part, or the, I'm sorry, the part that's covering the sticky part. And then I am going to open up my zipper, and I'm going to put it right sides facing down. Oh, this, when I tell you it's sticky, it is definitely sticky. All right, you can't see it, but I got the zipper on. There we go. And now I just have to sew it on. Did I put this on? Okay, I was like, Lord, please don't let me have put this on the wrong space, the wrong side. And again, the one thing I love about the zipper tape, the sticky tape, is that if you need to make any adjustment, you can. You can absolutely do that without a doubt. So I just want to move my zipper tape just a little bit away. Just make sure. I feel like I'm doing this backwards. And I just want to make sure that I'm not. Zip this down. Yes, okay. I just had to make sure. All right. I'm sorry if I missed anyone's comment. I wasn't looking for the last few minutes. Okay. All right, let's see. And then I feel like make sure I didn't miss anything. Nope. Okay. All right. So I'm going to sew this zipper on. Before I do that, just make sure this is going to be right sides together. Just want to make sure this is going to be okay. Yep. All right. It's always better to check, and double check. So I have my little zipper foot, which is, even though it's not an invisible zipper foot, it has been serving me well. I'm gonna go this way. All right, so here we go. Again, I'm folding down my zipper teeth. And I need to put, also remember from your basting stitch, you want to make sure that you reset your you want to make sure you reset your needle placement. Why is it doing that? Oh, that's why. I'm like, why won't this? I'm trying to move my needle over so it's closer to my. So it's closer to my zipper teeth, but it is not acting like it wants to move over, and that's okay. Why does this feel like it's backwards? Okay, a little bit more. Okay. Please don't tell me if I put this thing on backwards, I'm going to have a heart attack and a half. And I feel like I did. I knew I was doing something. I did. I put it on backwards. When I say trust your gut, you need to trust your gut. And I had that feeling like, oh, I'm not putting this on right. And I wasn't. I did it backwards. Like I felt it like I was putting it on backwards. It's like, trust your gut. The good news is that it looks like I didn't even stitch it all the way down. So that's the universe helping me out because it knew I was putting it on backwards. So one of the other things, which again, everything happens for a reason, is I realized that I didn't tell you which side of the zipper that you need to be putting down. You need to be laying down, and it is did I zip this down? Nope, I didn't even put this down. Look at that. All right, I'm just taking this zipper out. Hey, Dee. How are you? For those that are just joining, we are working on Simplicity 9372, and this time we are working on view C. Behind me, you see view A, which is the dress, which I did in a denim fabric. And now we're doing view C also in a denim. Okay. So again, the other thing I really like about this sticky tape is that if you do make a mistake, which they happen, that you can literally just pull it off. But it's still very sticky, believe it or not. So I'm just going to cut off some of these little fray pieces so they do not get in the way of when we start putting the zipper on. All right. So to make sure that that does not happen again, we are literally going to do a basting stitch. So this is another way to put a zipper on, which is to put a basting stitch in. And the seam that you're going to be putting the zipper in or creating. And this just makes it easier for you to put your zipper in. And sometimes I don't do it this way often, but I do it when I make something that I haven't ever made before and it's not always clear to me. Where do I need to put my zipper? Or how do I need to, not where I need to put it, but how I'm putting it in. I will do like a basting stitch. Again, it's not my favorite way to put a zipper in, but I do it. Again, basting stitches, I use 5.5, which I didn't adjust it all the way to 0.5. And I'm just putting that basting stitch up to the point where my zipper will go in. What is happening with my... Okay. I feel like my sewing machine is not being nice to me today. All right. So this is where the zipper is going to go in, and I just put this basting stitch in this area. And I'm going to use my iron to press the seam open. And if I had a knit, I would probably just use my finger and press it out. But because I'm using a denim, I'm going to need a little bit more to open up that seam and make sure it stays open, so I can apply the zipper tape. I'm still going to use zipper tape, but and again, I'm just pressing open the seam. How am I? I'm doing great. I am literally doing great. It's been a long week because I had a bit of travel this week, so I just got home today. Yeah, look at that. Okay. Yeah, I just got home today, but otherwise, looking forward to relaxing weekend. Going to play golf on Sunday, so I'm looking forward to that. It'll be my first time doing that in a while. Okay. So yeah, it's gonna be a good weekend. Do a little winter cleaning and yeah. And again, I'm just reinforcing that folded down part. Where the the finish will be for the lower part of the collar. Okay, so here you can see where I pressed open my seam allowance, if you could see that. And I'm going to use some zipper tape to put my zipper on. And again, I love zipper tape. It's like the best thing to me for making it easier to put on zippers. I'm gonna put both of these down actually, but I'm only going to take the sticky part off of one first, and then I'm going to take it off the other one. And again, this is, this could very well be, especially when you're making something that you haven't made before. And like I said, you are not 100% sure about how you want to put the zipper in or how the pieces match up, which again is a problem that I have had before. So anyway, I put both of my zipper tape pieces on. I am only going to peel off the sticky part off of one piece, and then I'm going to sew it down. The main thing you want to remember about applying a zipper this way is that you kind of base stitched your pieces together, but you're only sewing the zipper onto the seam allowance piece. So you just want to make sure when you put it under the sewing machine that you don't put this whole piece under, that you only put this piece, your seam allowance, under. Again, I'm kind of giving you like not a thorough instructions about putting in the zipper, but I do have a video that is just about putting in, you know, zippers. So I would definitely say you want to watch that. And the video is done in a way that you can do it. You can actually not just hear somebody tell you how to do it, but you can get out your scrap fabric and your zipper and you can put in a zipper. So I encourage you to do it. And again, I mentioned this before, like this pattern is a great pattern for somebody who is trying to, you know, this might be their first or second time putting in zippers and they want to just get a feel, because the overall pattern itself is not difficult. So the most difficult part of the pattern will be putting in the zipper. And that's a great beginner pattern to kind of like get comfortable with zippers, because the last thing you want to do when you're new to putting in zippers is have a pattern that it's really difficult to put the pattern in. I mean, put the pattern together, and then on top of that, you figured that part out. Now you got the zipper, and you know you just don't want to add difficult on top of difficult. So I would say this is definitely a good pattern to do, both the dress and this view C, which are the only two things that I've made so far from this pattern. So anyway, I have my zipper. I'm opening it up, and it's going to be face down, or right side facing the right side. And remember, I did not take my zipper tape all the way to the top. It's going halfway or to that fold line. So the top of my zipper, the zipper stop is where I'm stopping, where I'm putting at the top of the zipper tape or that fold line. Okay, we just getting to the 1 hour mark. We good. We doing good. Okay, so I put that on. Can't see it, but it's right here. This matches the fabric. And now I am literally going to just sewing on my seam allowance. I'm opening up my zipper teeth with my fingers. I just kind of take my finger and hold it open. And I push my I don't know, for some, oh, there we go. I was like, why is this not going? All right, there we go. All right, there we go. Now we are feeling better about this. This is why I would tell you, trust your gut, because sometimes you feel like, oh, this isn't right. It's probably not. It's probably not. And this, just like that, it feels so much better. What I'm doing now feels so much better. And I'm going to do a little back stitch. All right. And then, so I've stitched this down, this piece. Now I'm going to zipping up my zipper, make sure it zips, which it does, zippins. And I'm going to take my other tape off, the sticky part. I mean, the part covering the sticky part. I'm going to take that off. And make sure my zipper pull is not caught up in there. And I'm now just pressing this on. So, oh, there we go. So now I've put it on the other side too, and now I'm just going to, now that I've put that on there, the next thing I'm going to do is to, before I zipping it down, well, I can't zipping it down because I got to remove the, basting stitch, and then I'll be able to zipping it down. So I'm just going to take my, seam ripper, and I'm going to literally loosen up or take out the zipper. Take out the basting stitch. And it should be easy, fairly easy to take out because it's only a basting stitch. Is it woven instead of a knit? It is a denim. Hi, Yvonne. How are you? So last week, and I don't know, Yvonne, if you were on last week, but last week I made this dress, and I made the dress that's in the background. I made that in a rib knit, and I used I cut a pattern large, and it was way too big. It was so big. So the plan was to take it apart, cut it down to a medium, and put it back together. But I did not do that. What I did instead was I cut it down to a medium, but this time I sewed it in a stretch denim. And that is what is behind me, is the stretch denim. And so what I'm doing now is I'm doing that view C in the same stretch denim as well. Now I am, and thank you for asking that question, because it makes me remember to remind everyone that the fabric that the pattern is calling for is a knit. And the pattern, where's my pattern? Oh, here it is. The pattern does have this pick a knit ruler right here, which basically is you cut a 4-inch piece, and you basically, that 4-inch piece should go from here to here. And if that piece will stretch from here to here, then you know that that fabric is stretchy enough to be able to complete this pattern. That is what with that particular fabric. So that, I just want to also share that. So thanks for asking that question, because you made me remember to talk about those things which I wanted to talk about but have forgotten. Hi, Kay. How are you? Oh, let me see. Hi, Rise. Thank you so much for all the likes. I appreciate you joining and watching and liking and sharing. Thank you. So I'm just literally taking out this basting stitch so that I can unzip my zipper and permanently stitch down the other side. So the hard part about sometimes, even though this is an easy basting stitch and I can pull some of it together, you can only pull but so much, because again, I have that zipper on, so it's not like I could just pull it. But also the thread is the same color as the fabric, so it does make it a little harder to pull it apart. But other than that, it's fine. Just takes a little bit of time. great. I am doing great. I'm excited about finishing this and trying this dress on, which I just literally made a few, minutes before we got on this live. I'm also like a person, I know some people will take their seam ripper and just zoom, but sometimes it goes well for me and sometimes it doesn't. And today is not the day, okay? Not that I don't have more of this fabric, because I do, but I don't want to have to recut this. Maybe if I wasn't on live, I probably would do it, but it's worth taking the time and just gently seam ripping it, which I'm halfway. You can't see, but I'm halfway to where I want to be. I'm doing some of it. All right, I think I got it where I want it. All right, I think I got it where I want it. Okay. All right, so I got it open. I'm seam ripped that basting stitch, and now I'm going to flip it back over and stitch down the other side. Same thing I did before, which is open out those teeth. Yep, perfect. Okay. Oh, oops, nope, that's not perfect. So remember what I said about not stitching your teeth? That's what I just did. I literally, my first stitch was, because that will prevent you from, yep, zipping up your zipper if the thread is in the zipper teeth. So I'm just pulling those out. All right, there we go. All right, let's try this again. We are going to, and I'm going to remove these excess threads too. Just make sure. I'm just going to take this down just a little bit more. All right, there we go. Now I think I got it where I want it. And thank you, Designer Monet. Thank you so much for joining. All right, so now I am just positioning this zipper under here so that I'm not too close to the zipper teeth, which is what just happened. Zipper, lay my needle over, open out. I think this is going to be it. All right, let's see what we're working with here. All right, I think I'm good now. Let's see. All right. Okay. And I'm doing a little back stitch. Okay. Finally, we have done it. I think we are good to go. And the only other thing I'm going to do is because I'm going to end up cutting the zipper, I am literally going to just go back and forth. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to cut it down here. And I'm going to cut so I just cut this end of the zipper off so that it falls within, so you're not going to see it. And then I'm going to take these and I'm going to wrap this around, and I'm just going to do a couple of stitches so that my zipper pull does not come off. And this is what one option you have of many when you don't have the right size zipper. And I'm just, again, stitching this onto the seam allowance. All right, I stitched one side down. Now I'm just about to stitch the other side down. You probably are not going to be able to see this, but basically I cut the zipper and I took excess zipper tape and I just stitched it down to the seam allowance. So I'm just going to show you this really quick. I cut the zipper. I took excess zipper tape from the sides of the zipper and I just stitched it down, and that's going to basically keep the zipper from coming off. So let me just show you what I have done. So this is the zipper. Zipping it all the way, and all the way again is halfway because this is going to be going inside. And this is going to end up being the top. You can see that. Okay. Ooh, so that took a minute. All right, so now that we're done with that, we are moving on to, let's see. We are moving on to, okay, so this is just walking us through how to put, so we're actually on step number 7 now, which is we are taking our, so you have your, I guess I'm going to call it jacket. You have it right side out. You're going to now take your, the collar, and you're going to fold it halfway down on that fold line that we put on earlier, that we drew on earlier. So halfway, or at least where your zipper tape pulls down. So it tells us to open out our center back opening, and it is literally telling us to, unzipping it first. Sorry. I'm going to unzip in. So let me start over. So here you go right here. You're going to unzip in. Let me just push this down so you can see better. You're going to unzip in it, and then you're going to fold this collar down or neckband down to the fold line. You're also going to open out your zipper tape, or where your seam allowances are, and you're going to match up those raw edges, because we are literally going to make a stitch straight down. So again, you're going down to your fold line, and you're also going to make sure that your edge that you have folded, that you keep that little edge folded as well. So when you stitch, it's going to be folded right under. And we're going to literally be stitching straight down this edge, that raw edge you're going to stitch. So I'm just going to get a clip and just clip this on here. It's a little piece, but, and you're going to get as close to your zipper teeth, because again, you have a zipper in here, so you don't want to zip over your zipper teeth. You just want to get close to it as possible without zipping or stitching over your zipper teeth. Same thing on the other end. I'm just going to turn this around so I can see, like, what did I do? Okay, I went right down to here, because you want to make sure it's all lined up. And I have some little straggly pieces because I did not serge this, so it's fraying a little bit. Got a couple of little pieces. So that goes down to there, and I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Again, you're going to open out those zipper teeth so you have raw edge to raw edge. So you're going to open out the seam allowance of where the zipper is. So it's literally raw edge to raw edge. And as I mentioned, we are going to, on both sides of this, we're going to stitch right down to this edge from the top to the bottom, making sure that you don't stitch over your zipper teeth. So you want to stay on the left side of your zipper teeth. You want to stay closer to, you want to get as close to the zipper teeth without going over them. So you want to stay on this side of your zipper teeth. Don't go on this side. You want to stay on this side of your zipper teeth. So let me just get closer over here. You want to make sure that when you stitch from top to bottom, that you do it on the raw edge side, but get as close to the zipper teeth as you can without going over the zipper teeth. So I'm going to do this one, and then I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. And I'm just going back over this for a minute. There we go. All right, so let me just show you what I did. So I literally just stitched right here. I got as close to my zipper teeth as I could without going past them. The zipper teeth are right here. Same thing. Just stitch right there. The zipper teeth are back here. And I'm just going to show you how that is finished. Well, I didn't do enough because I still see my little zipper edge of my zipper pull. I mean, the zipper tape is on here. But you don't want that to show, so I'm probably going to end up cutting that out. Even though it's going to be tucked under, well, let me see once I do it, but you can see my zipper, edge of my zipper tape. It's going to be underneath, so what I need to do is cut that off, that piece. Or let me see, or you know what you could do? You could pull it out, and I'll show you on this side because I'm going to do it over here. I'm doing this, so I'm learning. You all are learning from my going through this process. So I took, because I saw what happened with my zipper tape, the edge on the other side, I'm going to make sure that when I stitch this down, so here it is now, that I pull out that zipper tape piece. So when I stitch down, just put this back, that piece of zipper tape is stitched out too. If I can pull it out, there we go. There we go. So I pulled it out so that it is sticking, that little piece of zipper tape, instead of it being on the inside, I stuck it on the outside. So when I stitch down, it's going to be also in the seam allowance. So you'll see the difference. And I'm going to pull the other one through too, but you'll see the difference when I do it on this one. All right. Again, same thing. Making sure that I am getting close as I can without actually sewing over my zipper teeth. And do a little back stitch. All right, so here we go. You see this one, that little zipper tape is sticking out. There is my stitch. See this one, that little zipper tape is sticking out. So I didn't do it on the other side, so I have to fix that, but then I stitched here. And when I turn it, you should not see any part of that zipper tape. It should just be, okay, yep, there we go. So you can see the zipper tape is on the inside. That's like a little bit of that other tape. I gotta peel that off, but you see it's not sticking out. So on this one, oh, here we go. I'm gonna just take out that little edge and push the zipper tape through. That little corner part. Just gonna push it through. I don't need to take out the whole stitch, just that corner, just the top corner part. Of course, that's the part that I also back stitched. So it's got a little bit more thread there to pull out, but not a big deal. All right, there we go. So I pulled it out. And I got to do a little bit more because it said no, not today. Okay. And once we get this in, then the last part is to just stitch up these arms. And that's going to be it. That is going to be it. We're going to be done. Come on. If you plan on sewing this, let me know. Drop it in a chat. And I'll be excited to see like what fabrics that you actually use. Whether you try a denim, but before you try, let's see what it does for me with this sizing. I can get this out. Okay, there we go. All right, now I got this little hole. Let me just push this zipper tape through the hole. There we go. Doesn't want to come through, but guess what? We're not having it today. All right, there we go. Got it through. See that? And now I'm just going to do exactly what we just did and zip up and stitch up that little corner. Also making it straight, so I think I twisted it. Let me make sure it's not twisted. It's just laying flat. All right, there we go. So I'm literally just going to stitch up this little corner. Just go down a little bit more. All right, I think I got it. Let me see. Yeah, I think so. All right. And once you turn it in, so again, you're going to have that finished because you did that turn, that little turn up. And I would press this to make everything lay down. Let me just show you. So this is what it's going to look like. You see that finished part? That's what it's going to look like. Okay. Now, the last part that we have is to turn this wrong side facing out. Which again, let me just show you what the inside of this is going to look like. And you could do like and actually it tells you to do what they call a blind stitch to stitch this down, the collar down on the inside, which is basically stitching a stitch right inside the seam, so it would fall, the stitch would fall right in the seam here so you wouldn't see it. That is not what I would call a beginner a beginner skill. There are other things that you could do, like using fabric tape to tape it down, which is sticky on both sides, tape it down. That's probably what I would do, because I've been sewing for 3 years. I'm nowhere near like the best sewist in the world, but I don't do stitch in the ditch, rarely. If you do it, make sure you have matching fabric like this, because that way if you make a little mistake, you won't see it. But it is basically, you're going to be stitching all the way around, and that stitch is going to fall right into the seam, so you don't even see the stitch. So that's what that stitch is in the ditch is. But now that we have this turned on the wrong side, right side's facing out, it is telling us to stitch the arm pieces together. So you are basically going to take the right sides of this, line up your notches. And are we stitching to the notch? We're stitching past the notch. Oh, you have like a little dot right here. You're going to be stitching to this dot. If you have knit, then that leaving the raw edges open is not going to be a big deal. You don't have depending on the fabric that you have, you may not have to put a hem in it. But the last step, which we'll do offline, is basically hemming that raw edge that you leave open. Which I'm probably going to serge it. You do have like a notch that you put in right here. Notches you put in. And so basically you're going to fold that and put a stitch in so that it finishes that raw edge. But we're not going to do that today because we're not going to do that part. Here we go. Let me take this here. Because we'll be able to try it on without that piece. I usually don't do finishing on live just because it takes long to do those finishing hems. And then you're also going to finish the hem of your bottom of your sleeve too. So once we stitch up these arms, that is it. We're going to try it on. So I'm going to try it on first, and then I will try it on with the dress, because I do have a sleeveless top, and this is the exact type of top or top of a dress that I would have if I was to wear this with something. Like, I could see this looking really nice with like a knit, you know, dress in the fall. Where's my, okay, here we go. And I even feel like it'll look good with this jean on jean, but we'll see. We will see, you and I together. Okay. So I'm about to stitch this up. Just see. So here we go. Doing 5/8. Oh, let me change my. Doing 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. That's what we are doing. So what are we at? An hour and 45 minutes, 42 minutes. Not too bad. Definitely just know that things on live always take a little bit longer. So again, for those that are joining and you're like, oh, I want to make this, and you maybe want to see it in a different fabric, Aisha from Laurier Designs is going to be making this also on next Tuesday. So mark your calendars for that. So you'll get an idea. And I don't know, I don't think Aisha is doing. You said stitch in the ditch from the right side in the seam. Use the edge foot or the blind hem foot. Yes, Marilyn, thank you for that. Great, great tip for sure. So for those that, and I'll show you exactly what Marilyn is saying. She's talking about, you said, I can't wait to see yours. She's talking about some, if you have to stitch in a ditch, ways to make it, you know, easier. An edge foot is 100% a great way to be able to do that. And I would even add to what Marilyn said, which is to press it down first so you can make sure that the bottom of that, or that the bottom of your fabric on the inside is laying right over that seam, so that when you start to stitch it, you're not going, there's going to be no question that you are actually stitching that fabric down when you're stitching in the ditch. But I'll show you exactly what Marilyn is talking about. Thank you, Marilyn. See, this is why I love our sewn community, because we got all the support. All right, so I just stitched one arm, one sleeve, and I'm going to do the other one right now. I'm excited to see it myself. Look, if I'm able to get it over my head, I'm going to be excited, okay? That's the first step. Get it over your head. down to the last little part. Again, finishing to this is hemming the sleeves or the cuffs, and also hemming the remainder of the middle part of the front and the back. I will also make sure that when you are stitching your sleeve that you really do like a reinforcement back stitch, maybe even a couple times, because you want to make sure that that sleeve doesn't rip as you're taking your, I don't know, I call it a jacket now, on and off. Okay, so to what Marilyn was saying, if you are going to do a stitch in the ditch or blind stitch, like some of the things that in my opinion, I feel like it's still a difficult thing to do, but there are people that do it effortlessly. I'm not one of them, so I rarely ever do it, and that's probably not why I'm not one of them. But the first thing I would say do is to press it down to make sure that the bottom part of your of the fabric that you want to stitch down is covering that seam that you're going to be stitching in. And when we say stitch in the ditch, it means your needle is literally going in the middle of that seam. So you're not going to see it. It's basically hidden. So you want to make sure that you press this down. In this case, you'll be pressing this down to make sure it like fully covers it. That's something that will help keep it stationary. And then even maybe pinning it is another thing that will help. Not right there, but maybe in place at the top so that it doesn't get in the way when you're actually stitching it. Then after you do that, after you press it down, make sure it's down, then you are literally going to be, this is the right side out, you're literally going to stitch right into, and I would say take your time. And I don't have an edge foot for this machine, I don't think. Let me see. I don't. But an edge foot has like a little, let me see if on my other machine. Oh yeah, here we go. Can I get this off of here? I can't get this off, but I was trying to see if I could take that foot off without plugging it in and taking it down, but I can't because it's down. But basically an edge foot has like a little metal piece that will guide your needle or guide you as you're sewing, and it'll basically fit right in to this little to the seam, and it'll help your needle just stitch right into that seam. It definitely does help. I use an edge foot for a lot of things, including putting in zippers, and it definitely does help. So thank you, Marilyn. Let me see. Did she say? Or she said a blind hem foot, which again is another foot. I don't have one for this machine. I do have one for that machine, but it is another foot that helps your needle to guide your needle so that it goes right into that, what we call the ditch, which is right, it's that seam line. It goes right into it, makes it so much easier. Okay, so I'm gonna flip our sleeve now, and then we're gonna try the sleeve on. I want y'all again all to cross your fingers and let's say a little mini prayer that this fits me. I hope it does. Again, I did cut a medium. So we're gonna see. And I believe the zipper actually goes in the back. So if I can get the zipper down. Hopefully it's not giving me too much of a hard time. So that's the other thing, again, a little tip. When you're using these invisible zippers, sometimes the zipper pulls are really little. So you gotta be mindful as you're zipping them up and down. Start zipping it, unzipping it. So cross your fingers I still again need to hem. Okay. I think this is how it's supposed to go. Let me see. Look at this envelope. Well, you can't really see on her. Obviously, you can see my seam line on me because this is denim and not a knit. Make sure this is fully down. And I can see the challenge that I will have is who is zipping in this? Who is zipping it? All right, I guess it's not too bad. Let me see if I can get my zipper up. Okay, it's going, it's going, it's going. Let me sit down so you can see it. I need some clip or something to clip my hair up because it's definitely in the way. Okay, it's going up. All right, it's up. So this is, again, it's going to be up a little bit higher because once I hem it, it's going to be like right there. So yeah, and it looks like that's exactly where it's supposed to hit. So if you don't want it to hit right here, you might want to make it a little bit longer. Again, this is what the back looks like. I don't know if you can see that. That's what the back looks like. This is what the front looks like. This is what it'll be look like hemmed. I still have to hem my sleeves, but I like it. I like it. I feel like it looks pretty good. It's not too tight around the neck either. It definitely, if you don't like anything like a turtleneck, then you will want to, it might be different with knit, but this definitely is like, it's on your neck. It's on there, okay? So if you don't like anything, like it fits like a turtleneck, put it like that. So if you don't like anything tight around your neck, then you might want to make that a little bit looser. It might be different with knit, which fits a little bit looser. This is again a stretch denim. So you say yes, your husband zipped you in it. Yeah, because it's like, okay, what are we doing here? All right, so hang on. I'm gonna put this dress on because again, I know last week y'all hung in there with me. Yeah, you said you love the dress. Yeah, so Monica, I don't know if you heard me say I ended up doing this dress again in this same denim that I have on right now. I really like it. This is super cute. It's super cute. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go put the dress on and then we're going to go from there. Yeah, I'm saying it wasn't too bad getting it on and off. Not too bad. I was a little nervous, but not too bad at all. Okay, so let me go put this dress on. I'm gonna take the dress form off camera really quick while I go put this on. So hang on, let me put this on. It's not gonna take long. I should be able to just step right into it because I made it have a long zipper, so I could do that. I feel like it's gonna be a little bit loose, but we'll see. Take all the arms off my dress form. All right, I'll be right there in 1 minute. Okay, fits perfect. I love it. Okay, so here we go. Let me put this up so you can see. Move this out of the way so you can actually see. So this is the dress. I feel like it fits really good. It's wide enough at the bottom where I can wear boots with it. And again, this is the dress from last week. I think I do have, I have to make a little adjustment. I'm gonna take these darts out and just move this one down a little bit and move this one back a little bit. But not bad is all. That's just like, something when I was transferring it. That's the back. I don't know if you can see the darts in the back. You can see them, but there are two right here. Okay, so the question really is, let's see if we can put this on with it. You can go from short sleeve to long sleeve. I feel like I'm putting the coat on backwards when I put this on. Feels weird. Okay, let's see. All right, let's zipping it up. I feel like I like it. I mean, I haven't even gotten it all the way on, but I think it's a vibe for sure. It definitely helps if you have some help to get this zipper up, because the zipper in the back is not the easiest thing to, especially an invisible zipper, because the zipper pulls are often really small. Make sure I don't zip my hair up in this. Okay, I think I got it like 99% of the way up. Okay, again, this will be folded under. I think this is so super cute. I really like it. I don't know, can y'all see that? So I just folded it under until I hem it all the way. But I feel like it's a great way to turn something short sleeve into something long sleeve. Again, I still have to hem the back, but this is how it looks in the back. I'm wearing this weekend. You're not going to be able to tell me nothing. I'm going to hem this up and wear it. So this is the dress. Again, y'all know last week was last week, but this week is this week. And here is the dress in a denim. The bottom is a little bit wider, but it fits through the hips, and then it just goes straight. But it's perfect if you want to wear boots with it, because as y'all know, especially if you want to wear like some higher boots, you need that little extra space so your legs can move around in it, especially because there is no split. But what I really do like about it is it kind of curves you in the waist part. And then this, I think, just accentuates, your top area. I love it. I'm telling you, I really like it a lot. If I had to do it again, modifications that I would make, I might make this like a little inch, half an inch longer, because again, once you hem it, you're going to lose like a half an inch all the way around. So I might do that. But other than that, I feel like it's fine. I don't have anything else. So again, Aisha made this dress last week. She's going to be, if you like this, Aisha's also going to be making this top on Tuesday. So definitely join her. She will be over on TikTok. And Malorier Designs is her handle. If you're like, oh, I love that, you're not making it between then and you want to make it on live with her, definitely hop over there to her live so you can make it. Tag us both in it. We want to see like what fabrics that you use, how you design it. This is like date night. Like, I love it. I don't know about y'all, but I'm feeling it 100%. I really like it a lot. Yeah, so this is, for the record, this is Simplicity 9372. This is view C. And the dress is view A, and I really like it a lot. So I hope that you all try to make it. Oh, you said you're gonna be on YouTube. Okay. Oh, wait. Let's scratch it. Aisha Malorier Designs is going to be doing this view C. She's gonna be on YouTube on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Yes, I think on Tuesday at 7 p.m. So if you want to see another look, another fabric, definitely make sure you tune in, because if you haven't been convinced to make it by this, then you definitely will be convinced to make it when you see Aisha make her version of it, because I know it's going to be bold. It's going to be beautiful. Let's see. Let me see comments. Okay, I'm not a sewer yet, but I would like a version with the sleeves almost sweater. Yeah, so again, a sweater version, that's what the pattern actually recommends, and I'm sure that it would be this. I feel like I want to make this definitely in a sweat, this little top part. This is super, super cute. Like, I really like it a lot. Of course, I love denim, so anything in a jean fabric, denim fabric, I'm gonna love it anyway. Oh, Monica, you said that's why doing a narrow hem ahead of time is easier. No, I couldn't agree with you more. Definitely like some tips. So hopefully for anybody that is going to be making it, Monica dropped some tips last week about, because she made this dress 4 times, and after making it this time successfully, I understand why, because I will probably make it again, and I'm probably going to take that other one apart like I said I was going to. I'm going to finish taking it apart like I said I was going to do, and remake it as well. Let me see who else. Thank you, Miss Texas Cannon. Thank you, Sebs. It really came out cute. I really love it. Thank you, Belinda. How are you? Good to see you. So yeah, again, anybody interested? Simplicity 9372. Let me just stand up so you can see. 9372. View A is the dress. View C is the top. You can make the dress in an hour and a half max. I literally said I made this dress right before we hopped on. I was on the phone with Aisha, and I literally made this dress. That I cut it out and made it that quickly. The top, I would say, we worked through the kinks. You probably can make the top the little jacket piece in like an hour or less. So you're talking about give yourself 3 hours. You probably can knock out both pieces. And if it's your first time, give yourself about 4.5 hours just so you can work through. Hopefully what we did today will really help you work through some of the process of making it. But I really like it. It's super cute. And I would love to see you all make it in different fabrics. So we have no sew along next week, or Let's Get Social is not doing a sew along. We're not having one. But she is covering for me. She is on TikTok. And so I'll find out what she's doing and post something so that you all know, because there will be a sew along on Friday. I just won't be here. I will be returning the following Friday. So check out the Friday sew alongs. Because I don't know what we're doing when we come back in February. But the February sew alongs are all up. So make sure you check those out. It's Black History Month. So we will be recognizing Black designers. And so I know I'm going to be doing 3 sew alongs in February, but I don't remember which order I'm doing it in. So make sure y'all check those out and get the patterns so that we can sew together. So Seb says, I have a similar pattern, McCall's 8348. Oh yeah, okay, let me look that up. I'm going to give it a try. So let me see if I can find this, so that if anybody doesn't have this pattern, the simplicity pattern, you might can use McCall's 8348. Let's see 8348. Oh yeah, for this top. Oh yeah, okay, look, let me show y'all this. Definitely, I actually have this pattern too. So let me just show y'all the pattern so you can see the pattern. Oh, if y'all can see that, that is the pattern. And here's the pattern. This is an alternative. And here is the actual view that is closest to the view that I have on right now. So it's a little bit different, like a wider sleeve. I actually like that. And here's another view. Another one, another view. And then here is the dress. They have two lengths of this dress, a longer one and a shorter one. So yeah, I agree. This is totally a good pattern option. If you have that one, you could totally use that pattern to achieve this look. So thanks, Sab. Definitely, if you make it, make sure you tag us because I definitely want to see it. Hi, Adrienne. Thank you. You said you might have that one. So yeah, that's definitely a great alternative to this one. I definitely think you could get that look for sure. Hi, Deborah. Thank you for the likes. So again, no So Long for Me next Friday, but she will be covering. So I will make sure I post something about what she's doing. And then I will see y'all back in February. Yeah, so we're going to celebrate Black designers. Aisha from Laurier Design, she is one. As y'all know, well, y'all may not know, but we are going to be making this. She has the Harmony belt. This is a version of the Harmony belt. I hacked it to make it shorter. Just playing around with it. I want to do it in leather because again, I'm always got to try something different. So I want to do it in a leather, a short one in a leather. So this is another like stretch denim that I was trying to has like different denim. This is a different one than the front, but again, these were scraps that I have. I was like, let me try to see what I have to do, and then I did like a button. But I'm gonna do a zipper because of course I like zippers, right? So I'm gonna do, I think, a visible zipper. I got a little play around a little bit, but I'm gonna do it in a leather. The original pattern, again, check it out. You can go to Laurier Designs, and I think I have a link to her website in my bio too for the pattern. If not, I'll make sure I put it there so that if you want to sew that, that's one of the patterns that we're doing. And then we're doing a pattern by D from D Designs, and then we're doing a pattern by Nikki Beauty du Jour. So those are the three patterns that we are doing. But anyway, this is a jean version of just, the pattern. Again, hers is a little bit longer, the original version, and it has a belt and not a snap. I just did a snap. Again, just playing around with some hacks, but I think we're going to do leather with a zipper. But stay tuned. I'm going to test it out first, and then I will let y'all know exactly what we're doing. Let me put this face down. Got a little tummy there. Oh yeah, oh no, we're not doing that, so I'm going to show you that. But anyway, that is what we are doing in February, but I'm not really sure what the order is of what we are doing. So anyway, thank you all again for joining. Happy Friday. Enjoy your weekend, and I will see you all very soon. Thank you. Bye, everyone.